If you follow the channel, then you know how much I love my Kirby Lambert Rain. Well, now we have a 3.0 version that has a lot of differences. Now, here's the thing. This one is a Valentine's Day special, limited to only 20 pieces. So it's very limited. I do not know how many are left from the time I'm posting this, but I will have everything linked down in the description. Now, here's the thing. There's more coming. Not this version, but there's going to be... What do we have? There will be the Miami Vice, and I'm talking about for the scales, Miami Vice, the Shipwreck, the 1980s Fat Carbon Fiber, the Lava Flow, and then this Burlap Micarta, which I got to say, this is the best Burlap Micarta I've ever experienced. I'm not even a big burlap fan unless if it's this stuff, because this to me is burlap. I see so much burlap that just looks crappy. This stuff is just absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness, I love this. Now, let's check out some of the differences. Like I said, limited. $279, I believe, for the Valentine's Day special, which I gotta say is a phenomenal price when you consider Kirby Lambert, Riet made S90V, and this, you know, and then obviously the fat carbon fiber and all the details. This is a knife I personally, when putting my hands on it, if I didn't know the price, I would say $350, you know, so that to me is something special. When I can get a knife in my hand and know the company who makes it, and then the designer and the feeling of it, the fit, the finish, the sound of it, and I expect it to be a higher price. The sound is even better than the original, which I love the original sound, by the way. Listen to the new one. Great sound. Now, instead of having the stone-washed mirrored finish, which I do love, I absolutely adore this finish. It's like a reflective stone wash. And it's super soft, super smooth. Now we have a satin finish. And I do think that it's a little bit thinner behind the edge. Now, it also does not have the recurve like the original. Also, if you look at the blade shape, you can see that it's actually slightly different. This one has a straight clip. Actually, this is a drop point, so because it does taper. So this one has a drop point, while this one has a clip point. You can see how it drops down right here, and then it clips right there, and it has the recurve. So quite a bit of differences in the actual blade shape, the finish, and, you know, like I said, the grind feels a little tiny bit thinner than this one. So they took out the recurve. It still has the same blade stock thickness, which, if you don't know, this, well, to me, I would say that this is a modern day tactical knife. This is a great example of a modern day tactical knife. Tactical knife. This is what I mean by that. This is what I think people expect an Emerson to feel like. This is what an Emerson would feel like modern day, or done very, very well. If you don't know, Emerson, you know, while they have very tactical knives and very tactical designs, they're very rough around the edges. So this would be like a, I don't want to say modern day, but more refined version. It has a very thick blade stock. You are not breaking that tip. But yet it has a nice deep hollow grind. So it gets down nice and slicey. Look at that tip. It has a very thick frame lock for a super strong lockup. Amazing ergonomics. The ergonomics are just hand melting good. This is a knife you feel like you could jam into something, or you feel like you could be tough on it, but it's refined. So it's not something you're gonna want to go take and beat the hell out of, which, you know, would separate it from something like an Emerson, but that's what I mean by more refined. If you like the feeling of a knife that's just top tier quality, while also holding on to some of those robust qualities that make a knife that's just extremely tough, this is a great example. Love the pink fat carbon fiber with the blue. It just pops. You got a titanium milled pocket clip that works great, by the way. I love this milled pocket clip. We have a floating backspacer in the same material as the scales. that pink and blue fat carbon fiber. Gorgeous. Good access to the lock bar. Very, very smooth on the drop. The thumb stud placement is really nice. It's placed perfectly at a perfect distance away from the scales. It's nice and grippy. Very easy to launch off from. Nice and comfortable. The drop, super smooth. It's not as smooth as this one because this one's obviously broken in, but it'll get there. It'll get there. Either way, like I said, the new ones or the other ones will be coming on the 26th at 11 p.m. Eastern time. These ones already dropped. If you do want to get one of these ultra rare, I guess you could say, very limited Valentine's Day special KAVISO Rain. Another very special piece from KAVISO Knives is the Sharp by Designs Mini Tempest. We have the drop point and the clip point blade, the flipper version, and the front flipper version. So we're going to hurry up and compare them a little bit. Obviously, we have different inlays. This one's got the 1980s fat carbon fiber. I frickin' dig it. Love it, love it, love it. And this is one of the best front flippers you could get. Just because, if you don't know, Sharp by Designs uses a detent nub. I'm not going to go too crazy into it because I know everybody always talks about it. It's super popular. You can find tons of information online about it. So instead of using a ceramic ball, they use a detent nub. So that allows for a very consistent, very clean breaking detent. Hear that break? So when you break that detent, it rapidly flies out. Now here's the thing, it's not a strong detent. It's literally just like the exact amount of launch you would want. I would say I do have some, in some cases I wish were a little bit stronger, but to be honest, you can always tune your own detent. But these ones are both tuned to perfection. This one might be slightly stronger, but it doesn't matter because this one is literally tuned to the exact amount that I would want this front flipper. It is so fidgety. The jimping is perfect. The front flipper style is perfect. The sweep right here is perfect. Another thing that's really cool about the front flipper is that you can lay your thumb on it and roll it all the way around because there's nothing blocking you. It's just perfect the way the sweep is and the height of the front flipper. You can carry this thing all the way around and do a secure lockup. Watch this. All the way around and secure lockup. So that's something satisfying about if you want to slow roll it with the front flipper. Now you can obviously rapidly do it, at all the angles with all the tricks because it's just positioned so well. It has the perfect jimping and the perfect amount of detent. Now as far as the thumb, you can roll it, but the thumb flick is not the best. I mean, I can do it, but I would say just don't even consider it. The reverse flick's great. I can even reverse flick with my ring finger. So that's pretty good. Oops, that was my fault. That's pretty good if you could do it with your ring finger. But as far as thumb flick, not the best. It's not satisfying. Now, they are using S90V. Now, I think this is the first time they're using S90V. I can't be positive, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time Sharp by Designs is using S90V. Now, here's the thing. These are so smooth. That detent, man. Anyways, S90V from React. I got to be honest, I don't know. I have no idea how good they're doing it, if they're doing it well or not. React, from my experience, does a pretty good job with their heat treats usually, but I can't speak to their S90V. I have to do some testing on it, so that's something I can maybe talk about in the future. Maybe that is something we can maybe test. Now, negatives. The one negative I do have to say is the price. The price is high. I have to say that I think that this is overpriced. How much? I would say by 40, 50 bucks. That's where I'm at. I think $375 to $380 is a perfect price for this. However, it's like $425. So, take that how you want. Do I think that you know, is it worth the extra money? That's up to you. You have to decide that if this level, I will say, it's top tier quality. So, you know, when you're paying this much, you want to know you're getting top tier quality. So you are getting that, but whether or not that extra little bit is going to be worth it to you is going to be, you know, on you. So, you know, you're getting a great knife, but yes, I 100% think it is overpriced. Other than that, as far as negatives, I really don't have negatives. This is just so good. I like that they have different examples, so you can kind of have choices. Both blade shapes are going to be super functional. I think the drop point's going to be maybe a little bit more functional, but this clip point's still easy to get to. And a lot of people like the look of a clip point blade like this because the sweep is not too crazy. The tip is pretty decently centered with the pivot. Very ergonomic. The fuller also, by the way, is super easy to get to on this one. I know one of my other Sharp by Designs models, it's a struggle. This one is super easy to reverse flick. You can even reverse flick it left-handed, and I'm not left-handed. Look at that drop, man. This one just falls shut. Look at that. Now, these are top tier in my opinion. When you're talking about knives to have in the collection, kind of like the RAINE, I would say that I would argue the same thing. Now these are much more expensive than the RAINE. Yeah, that's why I say this is a great price. $297, $425. Some would argue that that's a little bit pricey. Let's say you argue that it's you know, $40, $50 too much, or even just $30 too much. That's still more than what this would be. So it's, like I said, that's a great deal. However, the Sharp by Designs, in order to get a custom Sharp by Design, same thing with Kirby Lambert though. Kirby Lambert customs are very pricey. Let me just pull this out. Kirby Lambert customs are very pricey. But Sharp by Designs, they are extremely popular. And this allows you to get a Brian Nadeau design done at a top tier level for, you know, a high price for sure, but much more affordable than what you'd get if you got a custom. Granted, these are made overseas, but man, the breaking action, the fit, the finish, the tolerances, the smoothness, everything about these is just, like I said, top tier quality. I'm trying to, so this is a knife that you feel good about after making the purchase. There's some knives you buy and then you get, and sometimes, and I'm not trying to hype it up. I do not want to do that because obviously if you hype something up in your head too much, you're going to be let down no matter what. But this is a knife that once I tried a Sharp by Designs, I instantly grew attracted to them and I instantly wanted more of them, because especially over time, because these are knives that, like, over time you just appreciate more and more and more and more. And you know, when you see a new design coming or something like that, you're all ears. You know, you're full attention because they are that good. So, you know, there's a reason why the price is up higher. Obviously the demand is higher because a lot of other people agree with that. Anyways, like I said, these are available with the flipper version, front flipper version, and different inlay materials, obviously different finishes. So if you want to check them out, they will be linked down in the description, along with the very limited Kirby Lambert Rain with the pink fat carbon fiber S90V blade with the thumb stud action. And like I said, the new ones will be coming on the 26th. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.